Trump is a really bad candidate, and frankly, I think a really bad person. I can't stomach Trump. I think that he's noxious and is leading the white working class to a very dark place.
You've said, I'm a never Trump guy, never liked him, terrible candidate, idiot if you voted for him, might be America's Hitler, might be a cynical a-hole, cultural heroine, noxious and reprehensible.
He privately compared him to Hitler. Now he's his vice president. In 2016, J.D. Vance couldn't have been more blunt. He called Trump America's Hitler in a private message to a friend.
I go back and forth between thinking Trump is a cynical asshole like Nixon who wouldn't be that bad and might even prove useful, or that he's America's Hitler.
We saw a massive crowd march through Chicago this week. We covered it live on the air here against the escalating lawlessness there by masked federal agents. More and bigger protests are coming because millions of Americans are appalled with the direction the country is going in, and they refuse to be silenced as their communities are being torn apart. And that explains the incredibly dishonest and downright dangerous new talking point being pushed by MAGA. Republicans on Capitol Hill are claiming that peaceful protesters are part of a terrorist network hell-bent on destroying America.
Now the president is threatening to declare the group a terrorist organization. Posting on social media, I am pleased to inform our many USA patriots that I am designating Antifa a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster as a major terrorist organization. But one expert says there's a huge barrier to a ban.
The First Amendment of the Constitution creates a right of association, which allows people to both form groups and it allows people to have whatever ideas that you want. So you can't ban an organization for what they believe.
The president writing on Truth Social this morning that at the request of Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, I am directing Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to provide all necessary troops to protect war-ravaged Portland and any of our ICE facilities under siege from attack by Antifa and other domestic terrorists. I am also authorizing full force if necessary.
President Trump threatens to cut off federal funding for universities permitting what he calls illegal protests. In a post on his Truth social media site, the president said that all federal funding will be cut to schools allowing, quote, illegal protests. He also says agitators will be imprisoned or permanently sent back to their home countries, and other students will be expelled or arrested.
Trump blasting the Democratic nominee, one of the Democratic nominees, Zohran Mamdani, as a communist. Take a listen.
I'd prefer not to have a communist mayor of New York City. And, you know, that's what he is based on his policy, if you look at his statements in the past.
President Trump threatening Tuesday to withhold federal funds from New York if the Democratic candidate, Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani, is elected.
The president lashing out at the Kremlin for not working on a ceasefire deal with Ukraine. Then taking to Truth Social, where he says Vladimir Putin is playing with fire and says bad things would have already happened to Russia if it weren't for him.
I really think that President Putin would look great if he got this settled. And I think he's going to settle it, but we're going to see. And if he doesn't, it's not going to be good for him.
You know, I watched over the last week or so what's going on in Europe. This thing could end up in World War III if we don't get it settled.
I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end and we'll win. Because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble.
Sending National Guard troops into major American cities could become a routine deployment, regularly using military force on U.S. soil against U.S. citizens.
We should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard.
Donald Trump made his case to hundreds of the most powerful American generals and admirals summoned for a rare in-person gathering.
It's the enemy from within, and we have to handle it before it gets out of control. It won't get out of control.
National Guard troops have been deployed to several Democrat-run cities, including Los Angeles this summer. Trump would like to add more locations to his list.
The Democrats run most of the cities that are in bad shape. We have many cities in great shape, too, by the way. I want you to know that. But it seems that the ones that are run by the radical left Democrats, what they've done to San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles. They're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war, too. It's a war from within. Controlling the physical territory of our border is essential to national security. We can't let these people in. We're under invasion from within. No different than a foreign enemy, but more difficult in many ways because they don't wear uniforms. At least when they're wearing a uniform, you can take them out. These people don't have uniforms. But we are under invasion from within. We're stopping it very quickly. Biden let people come in from prisons, mental institutions, drug dealers, murderers.
I swore an oath to uphold the laws of our nation, and that is exactly what I will do. I will fight to protect you. I am your president of law and order and an ally of all peaceful protesters.
Are you prepared to invoke the Insurrection Act?
Depends on whether or not there's an insurrection.
There is, sir?
No, but you have violent people, and we're not going to let them get away with it.
Even if you're not planning to invoke that Insurrection Act, do you still plan to send troops?
Well, we're going to have troops everywhere. We're not going to let this happen to our country. We're not going to let our country be torn apart.
What is the bar for sending Marines to
the bar is what I think it is. I mean, if we see danger to our country and to our citizens, we'll be very, very strong in terms of law and order. It's about law and order.
And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. Our exciting adventures and boldest endeavors have not yet begun. My fellow Americans, for our movement, for our children, and for our beloved country. And I say this, despite all that's happened, the best is yet to come.